So I moved to this small town in the middle of nowhere, about 52,000 people. And when I moved in, they gave me this ID card at City Hall and told me that I had to wear this ID card everywhere that I went. And so the first day I moved there was Saturday. I had a job where I worked from home, and I would report in once a day at the end of the day with the stuff they had given me to process throughout the day. And so the first day there was Saturday, so I didn't have anything to do, and my furniture was still coming in the mail, or the shipment, or whatever the furniture moving company used. And so I'm wandering around downtown, and I see that they have this festival in this big park in front of the library. But the shutter, the windows, the blinds of all the windows in the library were closed. And I also noticed that the people in the town were very friendly, very polite, very kind, almost like I was living in Stepford. But everyone was terrified to look at the library, like there was some kind of horrible thing they didn't want to be reminded of, like that horrible thing you have in the back of your mind, maybe that horrible thing that happened to you when you were a kid, and you're afraid to go into situations that remind you of that. It was kind of like that. And then finally, after the orientation, after my first week of orientation, after they let me wander around town with my ID card around my neck, they explained their legal and justice system in this town. Because the other thing I had noticed was that there was very little crime in this town. There was very little graffiti anywhere. I didn't see any prostitutes. I didn't see any murders or muggings. And I noticed that all of the shops at nighttime, they weren't locked. And people, my neighbors, they didn't lock their doors at night. And so I thought, at first, this is a fantastic town. But then I realized what they were doing. See, what happens is they have a list of rules that everybody has to follow. And they have a 3-strike system for most rules. Other rules are 1-strike rules. And if you have 3 strikes against the 3-strike rules, or the 1 strike on the 1-strike rule, they kill you. And they kill you by hanging. And they hang you from the neck inside of the library. And the entire library is set up like you would when you go to the cleaners and you give the lady your ticket or the guy your ticket, and they punch in a number in their computer, and the whole hanging system, their hanging cleaning file system, like rolls around until your jacket comes to the front. It's like that, except all the people hanging from this gigantic internal system are people that they've killed. And if you have a 1-strike or a 2-strike, the punishment is you have to sit in this observation room for an hour while all the people go by that have been previously hanged by the city elders who came up with this crazy idea that keeps the peace in this town. And so obviously I'm very, very careful not to break any laws, because I don't want to be hung by the neck until dead inside the library and become somebody to warn the kids not to stay up past their bedtime.